There you go. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's just start with our meditation and then we'll go from there. So just get comfy. Close your eyes. We're actually just going to do a meditation on on quieting our inner critic, that inner voice inside of us. So to start, just begin by focusing on your breathing. Notice the physical sensation of breathing in and then breathing out. Find your position. Have a straight spine. Feel the strength within your core. Relax your jaw, your neck, and your shoulders. And whatever you're feeling right now, we're just going to leave things alone for the next few moments. If your attention wanders, then just come back to your breathing in and breathing out. So sometimes even doing this, we start with self-judgment right away. We might start thinking, oh, I'm not very good at this, or I should do this more often, or I should be doing something else, or what do I need to write down on my list? But for this brief practice today, just reflect at the moment and just be with your breath. So we definitely have self-judgment often. But for the next few moments, I want you to reflect on somewhere in your life that you may feel judged. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's as a parent, maybe it's as being a child. And notice how judgment is more than a single thought. It may affect how you feel with tension or unease somewhere in your body. It may influence your emotional state. And then notice where your thoughts go when you're experiencing this kind of self-criticism and the patterns you fall into under this kind of stress. Now we're going to start leaving that voice of judgment, that inner critic alone. We're not going to wrestle with it or push it away. You can label it if you want, or even give it a specific name. Recognize what it feels like to you, and then just let it be. On each in-breath, acknowledge whatever you're experiencing right now in your body, your emotions, your thoughts. Nothing to fix or change. Just accept that this is what's going on right now. So the in-breath is acknowledged. On the out-breath, offer yourself relief. Wish yourself what you would a close friend with the same doubts. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Breathe out and offer yourself relief. You can also offer yourself strength or humor or joy or anything else that feels appropriate. Breathing in, this is how things are. Breathing out, focusing on ease or peace or whatever else comes to mind. Wish yourself well, not because you deserve it more than anyone else, but because you deserve it as much as anyone else. And as we're about to end, in your head, just say one thing that you love or like about yourself. And take a deep breath in, out, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Awesome. All right, so just letting you know, just kind of housekeeping stuff. Next Friday, so like, I didn't write down the date. What is the date? Not in 4 days, but the 18th, Friday the 18th, we will have our next fascinating female interview. And so Suzanne, what these are is once a month I have someone come in and we interview them, and they're just empowering women leaders. So our very first speaker was Nikki, who's here.
Oh.
And our next speaker next week is going to be Mandy Kensley. And she, that was a good response, Nikki. And Mandy has opened up what is called the Balance Studio, and she runs B classes, and it's a B with a period, the B class, which means be, right? Be in the moment. And there's a lot of reasons what has drawn her to do this. The B class is movement, but it's all about empowering women and confidence. And so she is going to be our next guest speaker to talk about that. So that will be at 12 o'clock, Friday the 18th, and you'll get a Zoom link. It's also in the event, it will be in the events section of the membership. And if you click there, you can read more about her. And the link is also there if you can't find your email. So that's exciting.
Yes.
Also within the community, just really trying to encourage people to check in. The more we it's a great way to connect during the week and kind of keep ourselves accountable, or if we need a little bit of extra support. So go check it out. Some people have commented in there this week, so thank you for doing that. And yeah, it's always fun to see how everyone is doing. All right, so we're going to go into check-ins and wins for the week. So when we do wins, I'm going to try and get a little bit more specific. Actually, this group is the people who I was going to talk specifically to aren't really here at the moment, but that's okay. They'll watch the recording. So I want us to be specific in our wins. So not just, we can celebrate our daily anchors that we are doing, absolutely. Then I would also like you to find another win. So, and it has to be about you, right? So, a win for me, so my parents were here visiting over the weekend, and I am not going to say that my win is that my parents made it home safely, because that's their win. It is a win for me because, you know, I love them, but, you know, they did the traveling. They were the ones doing the action, right? So it's, what kind of action have you taken that you are celebrating? So for me, and it can be small. So I might say that I set up my VA for a new program that we're doing within partnerships with other companies. Okay, that's a win for me. Another win for me is that, what else? I had a whole bunch in my head ready to go. And of course now, you know, they float away. Another win for me is that I planned the week's menu for food at home, which I love doing that, but it doesn't.
Can you send that to me?
Sure.
Did you say you love doing that?
I love having it planned ahead.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
I don't love doing it, but once it's done, I am so happy that week that I did it, right? All the food is in the fridge. I know what I'm going to cook. Everyone knows we've planned ahead, and yeah. So that's another win for me. So it's things that you've taken action on, whether it's big or small. Okay. So let's just do a check-in, how you're feeling, how you're doing, and then some win, at least one win from this week. So whoever wants to go first can go ahead.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so things are good. And yesterday was my first day that I got to be, I'm not sure about the words, but I was an energy healer yesterday in the clinic in practice. And I don't know, it was just really cool. Like, it was really fun. Oh my gosh, like just these energies of like joy and pleasure and fun and excitement. And I have this awareness that I've started new jobs before in the past, and I would be very nervous about like forgetting something or like just like a lot of kind of anxious feelings. And yesterday, none of those feelings were present. So I think it's just like um I'm doing the right thing. I'm following my path. I'm showing up in the right places, and yeah, and I'm like really excited to learn and create more. So that was really good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I ordered some probiotics. So I have gut pain every day of my life. I have stomach pains. So I did some research. I found a probiotic company that's not sourced from dairy, because most probiotics are actually sourced from a dairy. I cannot handle any dairy. So I found a line of probiotics. I had to wait a little bit to be able to afford them. They got here yesterday, so really looking forward to the next couple of weeks of actively healing my guts. So we're on week 2 of no dairy, no wheat in our house. We have a family of 5. There has definitely been some resistance. Oh my God. So yesterday, Jaden, who's our oldest, he's 12, he comes home, and well, first of all, when I pack the lunches in the morning, there's 1, 2, 3 stats piles, and somebody left their gluten-free granola bars on the counter. Nobody would confess to leaving them behind. So it wasn't Jaden, because he come home after school, he pulls his granola bars out of his backpack, and he's like, shiitake mushrooms. Do you know you're feeding me shiitake mushrooms? It's like, oh, no. I've been eating these granola bars for 2 years. They're the Made Good brand, but they have like shiitake mushrooms and tomatoes and spinach right on the label. Thank you very much. So Jaden's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not eating this. So I had a really good laugh. I've got to come up with some other school snacks. That isn't going to work. That's fair. And then even me, like, having this awareness, like, if I knew that I was eating shiitake mushrooms and spinach, like, I'm pretty picky about what I eat. But anyways, interesting points of views. We're growing, we're learning, we're adapting, and I've just got to keep searching. Like, why can't they just make the granola bar with the oats and the chocolate? Why do they got to add all this crap? I get that it's healthy crap, but it's misleading to the children.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I need to do like what you did, Kim. Like like my goal is that the beginning of each day, I will know what we're going to be eating. But I feel so overwhelmed with the amount of choices that is, because there's so many different diets and feelings that I just kind of leave it till last minute, and then it's not chosen, right? Mm-hmm. So that's definitely where I would like to spend a little bit more focus on my time is, I don't know, maybe it's the night before, because it's not really showing up in the morning for me. Maybe it's the night before we need to decide like breakfast, lunch, and supper, or yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyways, we're getting through it, and it's adding some humor, if nothing else. So
thank you for your healthy snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
A lady you should talk to is Linda Bozer of Healthy, like Clean Eating, I think. She owns the High Energy Fitness in Bonnyville.
Yeah, okay.
And she also has, it's called Clean Eating, I think is what her Facebook page is. And she does all that, creates bars and things like that, are all healthy snacks. She doesn't believe in all the crap that puts into stuff. She might be able to give you some tips and recipes for those snacks for the kids. Because I get snacks from her for at work. And really, I just order, I go pick them up and I don't make shit. She makes it all for me.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's good.
she might be a benefit to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Like,
Yeah, no
that's
problem.
just not my favorite place to be in the kitchen creating the snacks. Like, my
Yeah.
energy is more useful in other places. So that's what I need.
I'll send you her email and her link to her stuff through Facebook and that for you.
Thanks, Suzanne. Appreciate that.
problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Who would like to go next?
I will, since I'm chatting anyway.
Okay.
A win for me this week. Well, something that made me feel really good. How about that?
Yeah.
I went with my son and to his house inspection yesterday, and I had my daughter with me, and then we sat on the side of the road talking for about a half an hour, just me and my kids. And my kids are grown, like they're 25 and 28. So just to actually reconnect and have a really nice, fun conversation with them was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Like, yes, they both live with me right now, but we really don't get to sit and chat. So it was kind of nice just sit and talk with them. And a personal win, I was actually talking to Kim about taking some time for me and this summer picking a day every 2 weeks and taking it off from work. I didn't give a care if I was paid for it or not. I wanted to take it off for me. And actually that's, I'm doing it. It's going to happen.
Yay.
And I told Lisa about it and she's on board. So we're good to go with that. So that's a really good one for me. So
That's awesome. Well done,
Yeah.
Suzanne.
yeah, well, because work is so busy. And I think that I know that I need time for me. And it's really, really hard for me to remember to take time for me. So I think taking a full day off and knowing that that's a me day, I think that's going to be perfect. So I'm pretty happy about that one too.
That's a huge win. Well done. Fantastic. All right, Carla.
Yes,
How
at least
are
me.
you? We haven't seen you for like 3 weeks. So
Yeah. I missed the last 2 meetings, so I know I feel a lot of sorts. Yeah, nice to be back though. Yeah, so obviously my last 2 weeks have been like just busy with work. Just the time of day that this lands, it's in my work day for me, so 1
Yes.
o'clock. So my meetings can get scheduled at this time. So I usually just flex my lunch and then do my hour for this on my own time, but recognizing that it's the work day for everybody else, so things get filled up sometimes.
of course.
Although I try to keep it sort of blocked. Last 2 weeks, just been a little bit more busy for us with last minute things coming up. But I guess one of the wins for me, personal win for me this past week. Well, it's not fully come circle yet, but I have an old friend on Facebook who we're friends, and we'll comment once in a while. I thought, we used to be really best friends like years ago, like I'm talking grade 2, and so I thought I should private message her sometime and just open that conversation. And I keep saying that, and I never did it. And then finally I just did it last night. I don't know what time it was in the evening. I thought I'm just going to message her and reach out to her and just say, hey, how many kids do you have? How many grandkids? She hasn't responded yet, so that's the other piece that I'm sure she will. But I did my part.
Yeah.
Right. I feel that it's been bugging me in the back of my mind that I just need to reach out to her. So anyway, I did. And we'll see if she reaches out back. So that was one of the things that kind of made me feel good that I was the one that reached out. And then I guess the other thing was just trying new recipes this past week. Some new, I keep thinking when you were talking about your meal plan, I wish I was that organized. I have no excuse. I could be. People have sent me their recipes for the week, the month. Do I do it? No, I do not. So I thought, okay, so just bite, little pieces off. So there's no excuse. There's Pinterest. There's no shortage of opportunities to learn new things. So I went on Pinterest and I found this new salad and just trying new different things, and the family seemed to like it. So just kind of changing the menu a bit and just changing, you know, the grocery lists, like what that looks like, what's in my cupboards and stuff like that. So yeah, so those were two more recent wins. And then I got a really nice letter. I keep thinking, you know, we always tell, you know, our boss, oh, thank these people. Like that's part of our job, is to thank our donors and stuff like that. And we're always so busy. We've had a busy last couple of weeks. And I thought, you know, I wonder if some days you wonder, like, okay, if I didn't do this, would anybody even notice anyway? You know, because there was so much to do. What can drop off here? Like you get down to that prioritizing, like what's going to give here? And I'm thinking, does anybody even notice what I do? You know, jokingly, but when you're in that crunch time, you're like, okay. And then I get this really nice card from my boss in the mail when I did actually go into the office, saying, you know, how he recognizes that, you know, that the excellent job I've been doing in the team. And I'm like, I have never had this. So, and it was in my mind, like we're constantly pushing, you know, say, make sure you say thank you to the, you know, and then to actually get one, it's like, wow, that was pretty amazing. So I thought that was a cool win. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well done. That's great.
So,
yeah, those are great wins. Thank you. Okay, so interestingly enough, it was interesting listening, because today in a little bit we're going to talk about the word should, and you know, there were a few shoulds in our wins, right? Like I should be planning a recipe, my meals, right? I should message her and talk to her, right? So so we're going to kind of talk about this, and that's kind of how we started with our meditation, was just, you know, that inner critic, those inner words that are within us. So just to kind of start out, what I would like you to do is I want you to think about today and maybe yesterday. It doesn't matter if it's on the weekend, doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you like 1-2 minutes, and I want you to write down any thought you can think of that you had. So it might be, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. It might be, oh, I should, you know, for you, Carla, it should be, I should reach out to her. Like, you know, that was a thought that you had in your head. A thought can be, oh, I need to get groceries. Oh, what am we going to eat today? Oh, you know, I need to change things. Or, oh, I'm an amazing person. If you did have that one, that would be great. No, there's no judgment here. So you're just going to think, and you're just going to write, what thoughts have I had in my head in the last 2 days? And just write them down. Oh, I'm ready to go to bed. It doesn't matter, right? So just write down some of your thoughts in the last 2 days. Okay. So what I would like you to do now is, if your if your energy goes up, or if you feel warm and fuzzy inside, you put an arrow beside that thought pointing up. If it's just neutral feeling, right? I have to go to the bathroom, you just put an arrow going sideways. If it's something that is possibly negative or it doesn't make you feel really good, put an arrow going down beside each of your thoughts. And then just kind of look at what did you have more of? Up arrows, side arrows, or down arrows? Okay, and I'd love for you to share. Tell me what you had the most of.
I'll share. I have the most up arrows out of the oodles of things I wrote down, pretty much just because the things that I think I should do are going to make me happy, like going to see my niece and going to my dad's and calling my neighbor and having coffee with my bestie. Like, I think about these things when I'm doing all my lists and stuff at home, and then don't do it. But I know that those are things that would make me happy.
Yeah,
So,
those
yeah.
were good thoughts then that came up first. So that's awesome too.
Yeah. And the ones that are down are just just regular stuff. Like, I gotta book my truck in, and I gotta get my wrist checked, and I gotta, other things that I'm gonna put off forever. Really.
For sure. And that's real, right? So and I would say those things are probably just side arrows, right? Like, even though you might not like them, they're not affecting your I probably your wrist is a down one because you have put that off.
It's been hurting for about, I don't know, 6-7 weeks, and I still haven't really got anything. I just bought a brace for it, and my truck's been needing to be booked in, but I think of it when I'm in my truck, but then I don't think of it when I can actually phone and book it in.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
it's frustrating.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Sure, I can go. Mine were more ups and downs as well. So just, dreaming about traveling again, that's a big up for me.
Yeah.
And then visiting my mom, who's actually not that far, like 10 minutes from me, but we're not to visit. So it was kind of an up and a down because, when I can, will be great. But it's kind of a bummer now that I can't. So maybe that's a sideways one. I don't know. But I get excited about it. And then and just other regular stuff. Just doing my walks, thinking about exercising and my walks and stuff like that. So, but more ups and downs. So that's good.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
I'm pretty even. Like, I have as many ups as downs. What's interesting that showed up is my downs begin with I need. I need to show up for my husband more. I need to be better with Lila. I need more money. So that's interesting because that doesn't belong to me. I know I don't believe that. So, but that's how that came out. So that's interesting. Your exercises are always so fun, Kim.
Thank you.
Very insightful.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is what I just call it a thought check-in. And, I recommend trying it, once a week, just for those awarenesses, like Nikki said. All of a sudden she noticed. And some weeks you may not notice anything. And some weeks you might notice all down arrows, which is normal, but it brings awareness that, okay, what am I going to do today just to help myself elevate my energy a bit and shift my thoughts a bit, right? It's just always bringing awareness, because if we don't take the few moments to look at what am I thinking, we aren't even aware that we're doing it or what we are thinking until we take that time. So yeah, so I encourage you just to try to do a thought check-in now and then. So this then leads us into those, the I needs or the I shoulds. And, I've talked about it a lot for a few weeks because we use those words a lot, all of us. And I catch myself all of the time. It takes constant practice to not use them, and to not use them for ourselves, and to not use them towards others. How many times do I say to my teenage daughter, you should do this. You should clean your room. You should do your homework this way. You should maybe try this. No. As soon as we say that to someone else, we are saying that we don't feel they have the capability to do it. So, we just have to learn to reframe our thoughts and our words. So every time we say the word should, it means that we wish that we were actually someone else. Right? I should be doing this because I'm not doing it right now. So I should be the person that's doing it. So this is a quote that says, to wish you were someone else is to waste the person you are. And I know that in your head, you're not making that wish, oh, I wish I was someone else. But when we say should, that's actually what we're training ourselves to think. So shoulds put expectations on ourselves to be more and do more. That's what the should does. I should be more and do more because I'm not, because I should be doing this. And it also puts guilt on ourselves. Oh, I should be, I should be taking more time with my teenage daughter. And then I feel guilty because it's like, oh yeah, right, I'm not doing that. And then I have guilt, and then I put expectation on myself. Okay. So when we say the word should, we're not really accepting reality for what it is. Okay. I am not doing this right now. Now, if I want to change it, I can say, I want to. I want to phone my friend. I want to travel. I want to, whatever it is, but take away the should. Take away so that you are not, because you do not need to be more or do more. You get to choose what you get to do, and we just need to take control over that. We make those choices, right? Whatever we do, we make those choices. So it's just accepting that this is what I'm doing right now. So you can use the word could also instead. So could I walk more? We ask that question and saying, should I walk? I should be walking more. No, let's just ask, could I walk more? We ask the question, oh, no, right now I couldn't. I'm already doing a mile a day. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's right. I can't fit it in right now. Also asking why. So if I say I should walk more, then I want to walk more so I can feel better. You find the why within it. I want to walk more to feel better. Okay, so I want to or could are great ways to shift that should, so that we're not putting those expectations and judgments on ourselves. And when we start practicing mindfulness and practicing those breathing exercises, that I have in the courses, or whatever your daily anchors are to be mindful, then we're more aware of those shoulds within our life, and we get better at it. And so I am going to call you out on it when you're within this group, because that's what you joined for accountability. Because we say it and we don't realize it. And I expect you to do the same to me. I have said to someone, you shouldn't say should, and then in the next sentence I say should. It's just there. So we slowly can help each other train ourselves, because we're all working really hard right now on being a better person and feeling better. And we want to take those words away that could impact us from moving to the next level that we want to be at. Okay, that's my message for today. I have, tell me your thoughts on should, if you have any.
So I have a tool that I like to use, and my tool is this question of, does this work for me? Does this work for me? So for myself, like I can feel things in my body. So I just know a yes or a no. Like I know a yes is like light, it's very expansive, can be sparkly, and I know a no very well. It's contracted, it's tight. So does this work for me? That question brought up a lot of things because I do actually have a lot of things in my life that don't work for me. So I've been working with this question for a while and just continuously choosing what does work for me. Because if I'm not honoring me and what works for me, none of those people behind me are going to get what they need either. So, and it was very uncomfortable when I first started using this and choosing what did work for me. There was people in my life that I had done things for them. So, but this is a tool that works for me when I'm choosing something. Like, does this work for me? Does, like, yeah. So that's a tool that I like to use. So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, you can use that with, does this with the walking, right? So,
Yeah.
Does walking more work for me?
Yeah. Right
Okay.
now. No? Yes. Okay, cool. Go with that, right? Ask again, see what shows up. So yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you. This is why I love group, right? Because everyone has great ideas that work. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Sorry, I'm late.
Okay. Glad you're here. Anyone else want to talk about the should or any awareness?
I've never ever used any kind of thing like that because I just make lists and then when I got time, I go down the list. And hence why I joined this, because really I'm more of a make a list, get it done. If you don't get it done, you're take that list to the next day and try and get things done. And it's just go, 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 go on those lists, whether it's at work or it's at home. Like at work, I make a list every morning of the things that I need to get done that day. And then I'm not that I'm pissed at myself for not getting it done at the end of the day, but sometimes when you got 43 things and you've got 5 done, it's like the next day it's like, okay, now I've got a really big day ahead of me. And that's so just using different wording to what is something that needs to be, does this work for me? I kind of like that one for the home stuff and go from there. So we'll see.
Good.
It would be implementing. My problem is actually implementing these new tools.
Of course. But this is also why we talk about them a lot, right? We bring it in, why we meet every week, because we need the constant reminder. And all of us might need it for something different, but we all need that reminder. So that's why we do this. Yeah, for sure. And I guess just within the wins, I wanted to make sure, right? Like that we're celebrating those wins at the end of every day. And so when you're crossing off 5 out of 45 things, you need to say win. Those are 5 wins, because I could have easily only gotten 2 done and then I'd have that many more tomorrow. So shift, because then it's like, oh, fantastic. 5 things done. Your energy will shift immediately instead of saying, holy shit, I still have 45 to do. Right? So
I started, so another thing that I started was this. So I put a journal beside my bed and I make a ta-da list. So like at the end of the day, it's like, ta-da, this is what got accomplished. And it will often actually lead to creating more lists. So anyways, no judgment, just like, hey, acknowledge what all the things you did, because there's lots of things on that list that you nailed that didn't make the list, but you still did it, right?
Totally.
So I just use that to help me, like when I'm in bed, to just be like, ta-da, you did accomplish a lot, and rest. No more list making.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another one I'm kind of playing with too.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I was just going to add on the comments already, does this work for me? I think I use that a lot. Like, I don't probably say those words, but it's more of a feeling for me. Some things I know right off the bat that, okay, this works for me. And there's other decisions sometimes that I need to make that I will not make right away. And I just kind of sit and see how I feel. It's all more of a feeling. I guess that's the intuition. And it's just, I rest on my feeling. How is this making me feel? If I didn't do it or if I did do it, how do I feel about this? And then I let that guide me. A lot of times, so most things are pretty immediate. It's a hard no, or if it's a hard yes. And then I am a bit more choosy or picky about what I commit to now, outside the things that, the obvious things. But yeah, and I liked, Kim, I think it was your post this past week on the rules. Yeah, and how we set those rules and we try to abide by those rules, but they're really quite imaginary. Like we just make them up, really. Yeah. And we, years over years, we just continue to follow them until we recognize that, who made that rule anyway? And this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And so that kind of spoke to me. I'm like, yeah, we do have these artificial rules that we feel we have to work within. And really, that's all they are. They call them guidelines. I don't know if they work for you, great. If they don't, then change the rules or don't have rules at all. Because for me, it's different every day. Some days it'll work for me, and there are other days where it just doesn't work for me, and that's my choice in the end. So yeah, just recognizing, I guess, being aware that we do have choices. We don't have to all fall into the same set of rules.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. That's awesome. Thanks, Carla. Mom, would you like to just share a win? So we talked about wins earlier, about how it's an action that you have done that you're celebrating. So I had said, I'm a win for me was my VA and I planned, the next step in getting more people into my webinar. So that's a win. But it can't be with someone else. So like I said, that you were here visiting. So my win wasn't going to be that you made it home safely, even though I was happy about that. That would be your win, because you were actually doing it. So it has to be something that you yourself have done that you are saying is a win. So can you think of wins from the last week?
Probably just getting caught up on a few things, like in my mind, in my own house. Like I've still got a ways to go, but like last night, once we were home from your place, to me to get unpacked, put stuff away. Yeah, and then that led to doing some other things that were already here in the house. So I don't know. For me, yes, there's still more to do, but that was a little bit of a win for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just going to say it's a big win, not a little one.
Okay.
Every win is the same. A win is saying, yay, I did it. That's it. Doesn't matter how big or small. This is the thing that we always think we need to celebrate the big things, which we do. I think that's very important too. But we have to celebrate every small thing. A win is I completely got unpacked from being away for 4 days. Yeah. That's a win, because how many times, I don't know you guys, but I've come home from someplace and then a week later, my suitcase is still there and half the stuff is still in it, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, just don't deplete that you think it's a small win. Every win is a win. So,
good.
Okay. So, anyone have any questions, comments? If you want to go, you can. I was wondering, since I have a little bit of time, I was going to pull 3 cards for us for this week and do a little card reading for you if you'd like.
Yes.
If you want to stay. Okay, except I just have to grab my cards because I forgot to grab them.
Okay, what is card reading?
I'll tell you. Okay, So like, you know, have you heard of angel cards, Suzanne, or nope? Okay. So these are cards that have messages on them. So, you know, part of my gifts as me is I am a very intuitive person. I've also taken a course on card reading. You can take this or leave this. This is just a little bonus on who I am. I listened to a podcast on the weekend, and she talked about being on the woo-woo spectrum. I'm like, I have never heard it put that way. So, because everyone is on a different, right? Some people believe, I'm a pretty big believer in woo-woo because I teach it, I embody it, I am an energy healer. So, and some people aren't, but it's all in fun. So whether you are or not, this is what we're gonna do. So I believe everything that happens for a reason. Whether, you know, we always can learn a lesson from whatever. So it's the same for the card readings. The message today is meant for you. You will take it in whatever way you want, and whatever way you take it is what it's meant to be. And if you listen to this recording, whatever you take it from it then is what you need also. There's no, oh, well, you know, that wasn't really for me. Yes, it is a message for you. So I'm going to just pick a body. So these cards are from my mentor, Candace McKim, and she has a book out called Intuition is a Choice. And so yeah, she designed these cards. So they're all based on yoga postures, these ones that I'm going to use. Oh, there's the book. Nikki has it. Beautiful. And but they just have amazing meanings. So I'm going to do a body, a mind, and a spirit card for all of us for this week. Okay. Body. Mind. I'm shaking them. Spirit. Okay. So body. Oh my gosh, I love this card, and I can't believe I picked it again. Solar plexus. So this has been my card lately. So the solar plexus is the area within our gut, literally just 2 inches above our belly button, where our inner fire is. When we say we listen to our intuition and it's like, oh, do you get a stomach ache? Or do you get a knot in your stomach ever? That's usually our intuition telling us something, giving us a message of some sort. So for our body, this message is saying you need to listen to your body. And when we listen to our body, it gives us power and courage and visibility. Those are the 3 words: power, courage, visibility. And so, you know, most of you are very intuitive also. And and a lot of you listen to it, and some of you are just learning how to be aware of it and listen to it. So just like when Carla said, it's that feeling I get, right? Whether it's right or wrong, this is what I'm getting for our bodies, is that sometimes we're not staying connected enough to what our body's saying. Oh, my shoulder really hurts, but I'm going to go pick up a water bottle. Okay, even things like that. The shoulder is telling you something. It needs rest. Okay. Or you get the knot in the stomach when you're on the phone with someone. It's like, well, why is that? Do I need to say something? Or do I need to leave this situation? Okay. So really being aware this week of your body and the messages that it is sending to you. All right, mind. Oh, I love this card. It's bliss. I mean, who doesn't want a blissful life, right? So these words are trust and synchronicity. So this card is saying that you need to trust what you're feeling and what your messages are. So and a lot of times what happens is when we go into our head, right? We ask the question and then we get this feeling and we're like, oh, okay, that's the way it wants to go. But then our logical mind says, oh, well, that doesn't really make sense. So don't do it. And this is saying that you need to allow your mind to trust what your body is telling you. So it's kind of connected to that first card. You know, your body's kind of giving you a stomach ache saying, maybe you got invited out and you're just feeling really heavy about it. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not meant to go. You don't need to know why. Don't question it. You need to trust. And then the spirit card is Warrior 3. And the word is ego and detachment. And I'm actually just going to look this one up because I'm feeling a little, okay.
I never get this card, Kim. Do you get this card? This ego card?
I have, but
have?
not a lot.
Yeah, me neither. I don't really know it.
So this is what Spirit is asking you. Are you grasping for anything right now? Are you pushing through? And I never like the word push, right? I like to do things, and if we're going to stick with our feminine energy, we want to do it with ease and flow. How can I do this and still stay in ease and peace? Okay? When we're concerned about the outcome and not about the journey, this is again a woman thing, a feminine thing, right? Oh, the outcome, I have to get to this outcome and I'm going to do it by this and this and this and this. Okay, that causes us to go into our ego. That causes us to put overwhelm and stress on ourselves. So instead, we're not going to grasp for it. We're just going to breathe. We're going to be in the moment and do whatever comes up to do next, trying to stay in that flow. Don't judge your ego, that part that says, I got to get this done, right? Because all it does is intensify your stress and your pressure. And you'll just enjoy the journey more if you can stay in that ease and flow, which is all that we're talking about and teaching about, being mindful, being present, being aware. So there are your messages for the week.
Thanks, Kim. That was nice.
Perfect. Suzanne, how was that for your first card reading ever?
I know nothing about it, so
That's okay.
I'm such a big note taker, so I'm writing stuff down. I'm going, okay, now how do I explain this to Lisa? like the whole meetings, even last time, like after I do this, because it's going to be, this is going on as like a work training for me, like this membership. So I'm trying to figure out how do I share what I'm learning with the two ladies I work with. And because this is way out of my wheelhouse, completely off, like black and white between what I've ever done before. So I think it's going to take a little bit to go to kind of get in the swing of things and see, you know, what it's all about and how to share it. So and I like it, but I'm like you said, you take it or you leave it sort of thing. So,
and if you need help, I can help you too with those wording or, you know, help
perfect. I may need some help.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week. And if you can try to check in Thursday or Friday in the community and see what everyone else is saying and you do a check-in, that would be fantastic. It will help you stay accountable too. So have a great week.
It was nice seeing you guys.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Kim, do you want to just stay for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're done recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah.